Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Diaphone, and today I want to share some of the lessons that I've learned playing KOF15 for the last few weeks against some of the strongest players in the world. So I consider myself a strong player, but definitely not one of the strongest in the world, and I have a lot of catching up to do, especially against the people that have been playing, King of Fighters since they came out of the womb, right? So I learned a lot of cool, interesting things and tricks, and I've implemented them in my game plan, and I want to share them with you. So this kind of goes a little bit beyond a beginner's guide, because it's all stuff that I didn't know about, and I'm somewhat a serious veteran. So with that being said, let's get into it. Timestamps below. All right, so the first thing I hear a lot is like, how do you deal with hops in neutral, right? So a lot of people get this misconception that like, oh, you just have to DP every hop, which is easy in training mode, but when in match, it looks something like this. Or, you try to jab it and then you just get hit. So there's other ways that people deal with hops besides just DPing. And honestly, DPing is going to be like one of your last things unless you know what's coming. What's more common to deal with hops, especially when you see a lot of high-level KO players, they're going to be very active in their neutral, right? In order to make that hop whiff, and once you make the hop whiff, you want to press your advantage. And this is kind of like one of the keys to KOF fundamentals. So let's say I make the hop whiff. My layer one is just, that's not a punish, but it's in case they try to do something after the hop, right? So let's set Terry to do a hop and then do a button. And see how I hit him out of that button, right? Let's say I've conditioned Terry now to not hit a button afterwards, right? And so this is when, like, you could do this and, you just kind of push her back to neutral. But what really good KOF players will do is they'll see this and then they'll adapt. And they'll either go for a hop in because they know this is going to whip, right? And you could do this from, like, obviously really far. You see this hop coming, then... And so they'll react to the opponent hopping and then they'll do their hop, right? Another option is you can just do... run forward into whatever, right? So this is very strong to understand. I think a couple other things to understand is like trip guarding is very strong. Let's say they're doing this CD very early, right? Or if I try to 5A this, I'm gonna get messed up, right? Or if I try to like jump at that, catch my jump. But the way you can beat this is you just do a empty 2K and you can get tons of damage. And you saw that the bottom left hand corner, it said punish, right? So dealing with hops, very important. And don't think you always have to react with a DP or react with a jab. That's actually not what you want to do. Try to focus on making the hop whiff and then pressing your advantage afterwards, or chip guarding the hops and make them press the jump in button later, which gives you more time to anti-air, right? All right, so I want to talk about some things on defense and neutral that I didn't quite understand. And I always thought like you have a couple different options on defense. You either DP or you just block it out, right? You don't always want to block out everything because you have a guard bar and that can get crushed and chip damage to this thing, right? So what a lot of people will do is they'll press buttons in order to like prevent you from resetting pressure. You're trying to pressure his Terry and you'll do like something like this, and then let's say they block all that, you want to do something like a re-jump, right? And so you'll see people like poke out with like a stand D or something like that, right? And for every type of mash out, there's always a counter to that, right? So to beat that reversal stand D, so my man Terry is mashing stand D after he blocks. I just do my normal pressure string and I go for re-hop, something like that happens, right? Or let's say I do 2-2 and then I go for re-hop. You can't do that, right? So how do I beat this? Well, simple. You just delay your 2K and then frame trap. And then you get really good damage for frame trapping. And it all depends on your kind of character. But what you want to do is you want to structure your offense around how your opponent is defending. And better understanding this will give you a leg up on offense and defense, right? Because in order to have a good offense, you have to understand what the good defensive options are. So a couple other common things. People will mash like an anti-air looking move, and that will work. But some of these moves, you can literally just whiff punch, right? More optimal version, looks something like this into a lot of damage. I dropped the combo, but let's not pretend that happened. Some other really common options are, let's say they'll do like a delayed sweep. So you can delay all these options too, right? Just in case they do like an immediate frame trap. So let's say they're mashing sweep on wake up, because like, if I'm like walking back, the sweep will catch me really good. But if they're mashing sweeper, they're mashing like a 2K or something. So you can actually punish that with sweep, with a hop, right? And so you see, it's all about structuring your offense to beat your opponent's defensive options. And then as a defender, you realize what the opponent's trying to do. Is the opponent trying to like hop and then re-hop? Well, I can just mash a close button afterwards, right? And that will beat the re-hop. There's so many different buttons you can choose to mash out with. So you really have to like structure your offense to deal with that. All right, so I want to show you guys a defensive technique that's slowly coming into the meta. And it's called guard cancel roll into the corner, which seems a little weird. But then you can throw them out. And so if they're doing even if they're doing like a follow-up, it doesn't matter, because you'll actually just throw them out of the follow-up, because again, throws are 0 frames. One thing you can actually do against this. So here's what Terry is going to do. You see they do that, and then they do delayed throw. So if this actually happens, we get the tech. And obviously you're doing that on reaction to the guard cancel roll. You just do delayed throw, and then you don't have to worry about getting thrown in the corner. Now they literally just wasted 1 bar and they're still in the corner. So yeah, delayed throw is a very, very good option in this game. I'm gonna show you some other uses of delayed throw here. So if you guys didn't know this, I didn't know this until I literally lost a tournament match because of it. And so in order to set this up, I have to have the opponent do a techable knockdown. So this is techable. You see how they roll on the ground first. Now, normally you can't throw people on wake up. So this is what will normally happen if you try to throw someone on wake up, right? But let's take the same situation on a tech roll. And you see, I actually threw him out of his jab. So tech rolls have a special property where you can actually throw them out of the tech roll. They can still tech, but they can't really do much else. They can like DP, but they can't beat your throw. They also can't mash out, right? Another really good option after this tech roll situation is do a delayed throw. And we're going to take the same situation. See, you see that was the tech, right? But I also did something really cool with that recording. What I did was I hit down, back and throw, and then I hit down, back again. And so let's say the opponent does a run up 2K, because run up 2K is now better because he can't do a wake up throw because it's a tech roll. So you saw how he blocked. So he did the delayed throw, but if I go for a 2K, he blocks. And so what you're doing, this is called like a fuzzy throw in a different sense, but you're doing down, back, throw, and then hitting down, back again. And you'll see this really commonly in high level matches. All right, look at this. All right, so you see how he did a low, and watch, you'll actually see Ralph's stand up for a split second. You see that little stutter right there? Yeah, so it's kind of hard to catch, but basically he's doing exactly what we just showed in the video, where he's doing a delayed grab, and the grab didn't come out because, you know, he blocked the low. And one other thing I want to talk about is like, how do you beat this, right? So you can also just time your low, right? But another thing you can do is you can do a run up and then just neutral jump. And you'll see this as a very common way to beat it, and obviously very, very damaging way to beat it too. And so same thing, if people are teching, let's say you do this, you get them conditioned to block, you do a run up throw, but they're teching that throw, same idea, just run up and do a neutral jump. And one other thing I want to talk about is, you know, in the last video, the beginner's guide, I talk about fuzzy throw, which is, you know, you do a delayed grab as they jump at you. But let's say there's certain situations where the grab won't come out because of spacing. You always want to be buffering that into your command normal. I mean, it depends on the character. You know, Dolores's command normal is 6A. And you see that I got a punish there, and then it's a big damage. And then let's say like it happens to be a throw, you know, then whatever, you still get the throw, but you always want to be looking out for that command normal because it gives you additional time to hit confirm. And you will see, like, especially when you look at your matches and you see all those close C's, you gotta be looking out and canceling those into your command normal and think about all the damage you're leaving on the table. All right, last thing I want to talk about in this video is called Shatter Strike. So Shatter Strike, I think, is the most underrated tool in this game. You know, at first I thought this was like, oh, only scrubs are gonna use this. This is me from a tournament, NLBC. I got 5th online tournament, you know, the waifu squad. So I was doing a run up Shatter Strike to beat like a delayed normal, and here's what that looks like. The cool thing about Shatter Strike is there's no damage scaling.
Yo, Shatter Strike, let's go, bro.
Yeah, I was pretty hype about Shatter Strike.
So
You don't just need to use it in there. So some other situations that I found people use it is one on defense, right? Doing like something like this. If a Terry's doing, you know, re-hop pressure. Shatter Strike can be pretty good. Unfortunately, Dolores doesn't get the best combo from Shatter Strike. You get something like that. That combo is so sick. A good amount of the cast can get really good damage off of Shatter Strike. And of course, as Shatter Strike hits, it's only costs half a bar. Very good for defensive option, especially for someone like Dolores where you don't have a DP. So you gotta make use of all the defensive options you have. So it's good against, you know, people doing like offense that has gaps in it, you know, like rehops or like 2K, 2K, dash up 2K, 2K or something. The other thing it can be decent as an anti-air. So you have to react pretty early. But you saw that says punish. It's pretty good. The other place I've seen it done is, let's say I'm Terry, I do burn knuckle, and so after that burn knuckle I'm minus, but I'm not that minus, right? And so you can do Shatter Strike and then take your turn back, and then you just do tons of damage because it's Terry, right? So every character, you know, find your own use for Shatter Strike, right? For me, it depends on like the character that I'm playing. If I'm playing someone like Athena, I use it more defensively. Someone like Vanessa, I'll use it like after my minus moves because she just gets so much reward off of Shatter Strike, right? All right, so with that being said, if you guys have any other topics or any of these concepts you want me to elaborate on, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you have any additional tips for, you know, players that have been grinding this game out a little bit, leave them down in the tips below. I'm still learning, and maybe I'll do another one of these videos that, like after I grind out even more, right? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this kind of content, want to see more, please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and it helps me make more videos like this. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.